Hi, this is Phyllis. Welcome back again to my channel. Today's project are these cute Teardrop 2.0 earrings. I made the smaller and simpler version of them a couple of days ago, and I like them. They're dainty and they're small because I like small earrings, but I also like these because they're not that much bigger, and they wear fine and they're not heavy. So if you like what you see, stay tuned for my materials list and we will get started. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and thank you for all of my new subscribers for supporting me and my endeavors. The materials for today's project are 4mm round stainless steel beads and 8mm round stainless steel beads, a 10mm jump ring. This is an open jump ring, and it's just the flat one, an ear wire, a beading needle, of course my bead board. I'm using this 4-pound monofilament. You're going to need about a yard of it for the pair of earrings. I'm using my chain nose and my flat nose pliers, my scissors, and my lighter. And I'm not going to use the lighter on the camera. I'm just letting you know that's what I'm going to do after I cut my threads. We're going to be making this the other one. This is of course the earring, but for the project we're going to make the other one, and this is the 2.0 version of the earring that I made a couple of days ago that I posted. And these are just the regular teardrop earrings here. This is Teardrop 2.0 that I'm making. So if you like what you see, hang out with me and we'll get started making the other earring. See you in a minute. We're starting off by stringing 4 of our 4mm beads, and I'm going to bring these down to about 4 inches of my tail so that I can just tie them into a knot, and just use them to tie the working tail, the working thread, and the tail thread together at the end of the project. So just gonna make a couple of knots, and I'm going to do that today. We're starting off like this morning. Okay, all right. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and reinforce this unit because sometimes that monofilament can unravel, so I don't want that to happen here. I want to, if it does happen, I'll have some rescue thread just in case, but I'm going to still burn the end of that thread once I tie the knots, so that it'll create a ball, and if it does unravel, the ball should prevent the thread from coming completely undone. So what we have now is a little tangle, but that is okay because it wouldn't be one of my projects if we weren't tangling. All right, so this is what I'm doing. I have reinforced this unit, and I have run my thread to the opposite end of where the tail thread is sticking out here. So the tail thread is down here. The tail thread is down here, and I am exiting up here. And what I'm going to do now is make the teardrop of the earring by stringing on 6 of the 4mm rounds. And 1 of my 8mm rounds. This looks familiar, doesn't it? From the other video if you watched it. And 6 more of my 4mm rounds. And what I'm going to do is, where my working thread is exiting, I'm going to circle around, pass my needle back into that same bead where my thread is exiting, and pull the thread, and this is what we have. It's reminiscent of this, but it just has a right angle weave unit on top where we're going to hold our ear wire. Okay, and so it's loose because this is the monofilament personality thread. It doesn't hold well, it doesn't stay well unless you reinforce it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to reinforce this whole unit here. It doesn't even stay together now. It's just a floppy mess. So you have to make sure you do this step. You can't skip it when you're using monofilament. You know, if you're using one of the sturdy other threads like Fireline or Wildfire or Nanofil or something like that, even if you're using a nylon thread, you may not have, you know, like a Nymo thread or something like that, you may not have to reinforce, but I think it's still a good idea to do it, because you don't want your work to start coming loose or to look flimsy. I find mostly that the reinforcement of it actually just helps it to stay looking neat, and that's what you want. You want your work to look neat. All right, I have completed reinforcing that unit, and look, when I lay it down now, it's not falling apart like it was before. All right, so what I have to do now is continue advancing my thread so that I can get into position to add the bottom portion of the teardrop. So I'm just going to continue advancing my needle until I get here into the 8mm, and I'm just going to make a unit here, by stringing on 3 more of the 8mm, and I'm going to circle around and go back into this first one where I'm exiting, and we get our unit there to make the earring. And what do I want to do? I want to reinforce this unit because, as you can see, it is loosening up, and the reinforcement helps. And basically that will complete this earring. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back up here into my, I'm going to pass my needle back up to where my tail thread is exiting, and I'm gonna tie a knot here, and once I tie the knot there, then I'm going to burn it off. And you don't have to watch me do that. I'll be back though when I'm finished with that step. I'm just reinforcing this again so that I can go back up. I just don't want it to be a wonky, loose mess. I just want it to be neat. So I'll be back in a minute. I've tied my knots, I've reinforced, I'm cutting my threads, and I'm going to just take my lighter and singe off those ends. I just don't like doing that on my camera. All right, and then that's the base of the earring. Now the easy part and the end part is to attach. I'm going to find the opening of my jump ring here. You see it here? I'm going to just take my pliers and I'm going to twist open. Twist, not pull, twist. Let me move this so that it won't be, all right. All right, I'm just twisting. I'm holding one plier and I'm twisting with the other one. That keeps the shape of the jump ring. It does not compromise the integrity of the jump ring. It stays round and you're not pulling it apart. You're not pulling it so that it can weaken it. And once I do that, I have an opening large enough. I'm just going to pass the jump ring into that top 3mm. Well, I don't know. Just right there, just like that. And while I'm here, just take my ear wire and pass it in there. And getting my pliers again. This is an 18 gauge jump ring, so it's pretty sturdy. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to twist the jump ring back so I can close it. I'm going to over twist, and when I over twist it, you could see it gets back together perfectly. And you can do that a couple of times if you want, but it's just as easy as that. And there you have it, the other earring to match this one. And the 2.0 version of this pair. I wore this pair and my son was like, I like those earrings. So if you like this project, I'd like you to make it, and I'd like you to share pictures of it with me on my Facebook page under my name. And stay tuned for the extended version of the 2.0, which is going to be a bracelet. So I really would like to thank you for hanging out with me. I'd like to thank all of my new subscribers and everyone who is paying attention. We're coming up. We're coming up on the 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to give away that beautiful cross that I did as my special project at Christmas time. So stay tuned, and thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.